Good afternoon, Veritas scientists. I got my partners here, Charlie and JoJo's playing in the river. I wanted to teach you guys a little bit about what we are learning coming up this week. So we're going to start learning about animal adaptations. Okay, so you've learned about this in 4th grade, so this should be a little bit familiar to you, but we're going to talk more about it tomorrow, so you'll understand it at that point. But I want to give you a couple of examples to go back to. Okay, so an adaptation is a change that an animal or a plant, any living thing, goes through in order to be able to survive. All right, so if animals didn't adapt, if they didn't change and have adaptations over time, then they would eventually have died. So in order to continue living as a species, certain animals or all animals need to be able to adapt to where they live. Okay, so if you look around, it's April 25th. There's not any leaves in the trees at all. We're down at the farm. These low bushes have a little bit of green. These trees up here, there's a couple of red buds up there that are going to turn into leaves, but as of right now, we have no leaves at all in any of these trees because photosynthesis hasn't quite started yet. It's just beginning to start because the sun is coming around more. It's been warmer out lately. Okay, but I want you to look at these. These are little skunk plants, they're called. Look how many there are. So these are thriving really, really well. And if you look over across the side, way over there, there's tons of them.
And
down. All that green are, yep, and there's JoJo, yep. All the green are those skunk plants over there, okay?
Also, I need something to show them.
Hold on, let me, you can show them after, okay? So if you look at these skunk plants, right, there's tons of them. So they're like basically the only thing, or, you know, there's only a couple of things here that are actually able to survive at this point because the spring started and this, you know, the sun hasn't been out as much as it will be in the summertime. So I want you to look at these plants. So they're huge, right? If you look at my hands, like these are huge plants already, and it's so early in the spring. Okay, so there's some that are right along the river here. I want you to look at their roots. So this is an adaptation that these roots of these plants are so big and strong and grow where there's, you know, right next to a river, they are growing. They're able to grow in this condition. They're able to grow in this spot because of the adaptations or the changes that have happened to their body over thousands of years, right? So that they're able to survive and live right here along the river. Okay, so look at the roots though. They're like ropes. They're very, very strong. There's lots of them. Like if let me try to really actually pull it. Like that was pretty hard to pull out. They're giant, like vine-like roots, and there's lots of them, right? There's got to be 30 roots in this one little plant here, right? And you can see them. You wouldn't normally be able to see them to be underground, but since they're right next to the river, you can actually see the roots coming through. Okay, so these roots are an adaptation so that they can live here. Okay, if they didn't have big, strong roots like this, then the river water would just take them out. When it rained, these plants would all just like, they'd die, right? They'd wash down with the river and die. But since they have these really, really strong roots holding them into the ground, right, they're able to survive here. So it's pretty cool. When we first came out here about a month ago, it was March, real early spring. Oh, Charlie, you're getting me all muddy. This is what they look like to start. They're these like purple, looks kind of like a hook, right? And I remember JoJo was saying, hey, what is that? Those are really cool. And then they open up and allow the actual skunk plant to grow up. So another cool fact about these is later on, like at the end of the summer, towards the fall, they will stink like a skunk, right? That's where they got their name. But right now, they're just growing, so they're not gonna smell quite yet. But when they're reproducing and they're gonna start having more and get ready for the next season, then they are really gonna stink like a skunk. It's probably it has something to do with them reproducing. But I wanted to show you this. Hold on, JoJo, I'm almost done. Because you can see how many of them are able to grow here where nothing else has really been able to grow. You can see that giant bush there. Like there's no leaves at all on it. It's just sticks and stems where these have really grown nicely. You want to say hi, JoJo?
Yeah, but Daddy.
Yeah?
I need your help.
What?
I need your help picking one of these.
Oh, okay. Well, it's going to be hard because they have so many roots, right? We can try. Oh, no, the roots are too strong. You can't even pull it out. It broke off before I could get the roots out. You want that? Ooh, it stinks like a skunk. You smell it? The part we just ripped? Stinky, right? Maybe that's where it got its name. Cool. All right, well, we're going to talk more about adaptations this week, but this would be a structural adaptation because the body parts of this plant have actually changed over time so that this plant would be able to survive here right next to the river in this environment. So pretty cool. Hope you enjoyed. Ooh, and look, at the end of the roots, even down at the end of each stick root, there's all these tiny little roots shooting off, which also allow it to get more nutrients and allow it to really anchor into the ground. So that's an adaptation that has allowed this animal to be able to survive, this plant. All right, hope you guys have a great day. Last thing you want to show?
Yeah, I found this thing, and I don't know what it is, but I can't wait to see what it is.
Oh,
Hey,
cool.
Charlie, stop digging at me.
Oh, silly boy.
So bye.
Okay, bye. Have a great day.